Hi, everybody. It's Dee Slater. Welcome to our Live at 5. We'll get started here in just a minute. Give everybody a chance to get notifications that I'm live and a chance to, get logged in here. So I'll give it just a few seconds and then we'll get started on here. I hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. If you follow me on my Facebook page, I said I might be late, but obviously I made it here on time, which I'm very excited about. I do work full time at our family business, and it was a little busy here today, a little busier than normal this time of the year. So, but I made it, and I'm all ready for us. Okay, well, I'm really excited. I'm always excited to come and stamp with you guys on Wednesday nights. This is going to be our mega Christmas card class. I am going to share with you at tonight's class on how you can make 24, yes, 24 holiday cards in about as little time as humanly possible, I think, when you want to hand stamp it. So I've got a great class for us tonight. And if it's something that you would like a kit to go, please see the descriptions on, the videos after we go live. And I'll have a link where if you're in the US and you want to get a kit to go, you can do that. It's $49.99. It includes shipping. And I'll share with you here in just a little bit what's all included. Or if you'd rather, get the supplies themselves yourselves, you can also order them on my online store. But I'm going to show you how you can make 24 holiday cards here in a real easy technique and to make it fun. And, you'll be really proud to send these. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll get started here at class. I'll go ahead and change the camera view. Alrighty. So what I thought I would do first is just share with you what we can make with this Mega 24 card class that we're going to do here tonight. I'm going to be using stamps that are featured in the upcoming Framed and Festive stamp set. This is available November 1st. If you get my class kit to go, you have a chance to go ahead and order that, and I'll get that shipped out to you just as soon as possible with the kit. But any large sentiment stamps is going to work perfect for this idea or for this class. So I just want to kind of go through real quickly here what the cards will look like when you're all done. And we'll go through these a little more in detail as we go through each set. How cute are these? They're fun, they're festive, cute and easy, just what we want to have when we're mass producing some Christmas cards and holiday cards. So just kind of give you a little overview of what those all look like here real quickly. We had so much fun yesterday. Tuesdays was my local card classes, and I think they really, really enjoyed it. I had a lot of the cards are so cute. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll get started what I'm using here tonight. So I'm going to kind of show you what would be in the kit, if that's something that you've already ordered. I know several of you have already placed the order for the kit to go, but you're going to be getting 2 packs of the Santa Express Memory and More. So that means you're going to have a total of 40 cards. We're going to be using 24 of them here at class. Also on the kit, you would have, I've taken some of the paper and you'd have them all ready. You have 24 pre-cut ready to go, as well as 48 punched embellishments, 24 for the sentiments, and 24 that would be layering pieces. Okay, and I think that's it. Oh, I wanted to share with you how cute these envelopes are too. That's part of it. It's just absolutely adorable. All right, well, let's go ahead and we'll get started making these cards. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to make one of each, showing you the technique of how we do this. And then I'll bring the sample set for those coming in and we can talk a little more about it. But what you would make with this is you'd have 12
of these cute little polka dot ones on that. Look how cute those are. I just love that. And then you would get, you would use 12 of the green tones. This is shaded spruce color. And then this has the shaded spruce, granny apple green, and then the poppy parade in it as well. All right. So let's go ahead and let's see here. Let's start with, let's see. Let's start with the presents. All right. So the presents and how this is going to go is we're going to use the technique that I may have showed you guys already called the rip and flip technique. And so for all of these, this is how you would do it. You start out with a piece of, this is 3 3/4 by 6 piece of designer series paper. And then you just pick a spot and you want to rip it. What we want to do with this is you want to rip it as kind of straight as possible. Try not to rip it too much at an angle. So it's just, I'm going to pick a spot. Let's see, I'm going to make it maybe a little low, about 3/4 of the way. So we're going to rip it and then flip it. All right, so I'm going to put this one on the shaded spruce. And look how cute this is. I just love the splattered look on it. And what I like to do is take the larger piece of the designer paper first and put that one down, whether you put it on the top or the bottom. And I would recommend the liquid glue just because it gives you a little bit of play. And we'll put that about here. And then this is where we ripped it. Now we're going to flip it. This is going to give us a really interesting look and make it look like we spent a lot of time on design work, but really it goes together pretty quickly. And this is what I'm kind of saying about the liquid glue. There's a little bit of wiggle room there. And now we've just made a really cute card base on it. So for this, what we're going to do is we're going to use the decorative circle punch. And again, all of these would be, if you get the kit to go, that would be in there. There's lots of green tones and red tones in it. I'm going to be using just the 2 colors of the shaded spruce and the poppy parade here tonight. And so on this one, we're going to put the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And so we'll go ahead and we'll ink that up. I'm going to do a tap, tap, tap. And then we'll put that down as a stamp. And there we have our sentiment. I'm going to put the ink off to the side. And then I kind of have taken like the accent one on it. So if I use the green tone, or in this case, the shaded spruce ink, I'm going to use a different color of the layering circle punch. And so this one's going to be punched out in Poppy Parade. And I'm just going to, you can kind of see where you might want to position it, and you can go right, left, up, and down. I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the left-hand side. And as you can, I don't know if you can see here, but it's just the lightest of touch of liquid glue. You don't need to put a lot of liquid glue on to make it stick. And so just kind of offset it just a tad, like so. And then we're going to get our regular size dimensionals and put 2 or 3 of them on here. And we'll take those off. And put that on. And we're done. So that's just how quickly you can make some of these cards. Now with each one of these, I am going to bring in the other samples that we briefly looked at before, and I'll just talk a little bit about how you can change up the orientation of it. Whoops. All right, so this is the one that we made here today. Tonight, as you can see on this one, I had the polka dots on the top and this on the bottom. So you can mix these up a little bit so that you can feel like you have some variety. Here again, I tore it a little higher on the top. An option that you have is not to tear it at all. And so if you choose to, you can just layer it straight. So like this is one option, 2 options. to have the polka dot on the top and the polka dot on the bottom, and then just kind of play around with the like how far down that you want to do your rip and flip. So those are some options that you can do with the present pattern on that and have yourself a merry little Christmas. Hi, Marianne. Thanks for saying hi. All right, so that was one, and then you would make 6 of those. Okay, so as you can see, we are mass producing. Okay, the next one that we're going to do is we're going to do the, I'm going to call it like the candy cane and tree one. So on this designer series paper, what it did is, of course, this is 6 inches, and every 3 inches, it has this, like it's a line all the way across the designer paper. So when you do the tree one that has the trees and the candy canes, try to rip it as close to the center line as you can. Doesn't matter if it goes off a little bit, that's okay. But we're going to just go ahead and rip it. And I'm going to rip it a little slower. And then we're going to flip it. All right, so let's go ahead. And on this one, we're going to use the polka dot. And since this paper does go up and down, we are going to put this one up and down just like what we did the presents. But on this one, why don't we kind of make it so that our pattern paper is towards the bottom? And it really doesn't matter like which one that you do. Like I said, I kind of tend to either go to the top one first or the largest one. And since these are even, it won't really matter on either way. So I have like the lightest touch as I'm pressing out the liquid glue. And do this. Now I cut the designer paper a little bit, what do I want to say, at the 3/4 inch mark, because I absolutely loved seeing the polka dot outline on it, as well as the shaded spruce one. So this way you get to see that pattern card base just a little bit. And I hope you can see like how lightly I'm doing that liquid glue. All right, so we ripped it and now we're flipping it, and I'm lining up the edges. Again, the liquid glue gives us a little bit of play to play with the margins and to line that up. So that could be an option. And on this one, I'm going to use the Poppy Parade and the Fa La La. Just kind of makes you want to sing the song, the Christmas songs. And this is stamped on the 2-inch circle. I used the 2-inch circle punch to prep for our class on this. The circle punches are retired, so you could use your circle dies. Put that off to the side, the ink. And on this, I'm going to use this cute Granny Apple green color to really pick up the background on there. All right, so on this one, we're going to just layer it right on top of the decorative circle punch. Or Fa La La. Again, this is going to be on the upcoming Framed and Festive stamp set that will be available November 1st through December 31st. We're just going to use it a little early here and have it for our class kit to go if you'd like. Again, you can use any stamp sets that you have, and there's a lot of different red tones and green tones in here. And, you know, again, you can kind of play around with the position of it. You can intersect it. You can make it high or low. And I think I'm just going to bring it up just a little bit just to kind of show the variations on it. Okay, so that's would be our second set of cards that you would do. And let's bring those in. And I'll just kind of share with you some, you know, other, I guess, layouts that you might want to do. So here it's on the top and on the bottom. And again, because of how this is, it almost has to be intersected right or ripped right in the center. But just like, so there's another one that's on the top. This one, I did have it a little higher up on it. And for this one, I really didn't do one that's all the same. You so could if you wanted to do one that's all this red star kind of background. I thought it looked a little odd to put both of the like this 3-inch by whatever here, the 3x3 sections on it. So I always did like to have it ripped in some pattern on that. But, you know, when you get your kit or whatever, you can do whatever that you would like. But that would be your second set of 6 cards that you can make using the rip and flip technique. All right, on our next one, it has this really pretty green winter scene. And on the back side of this is the star pattern or the snowflake pattern. And on some of these, well, I think on all of them, they do have an orientation. So when you go to cut the paper, if you would make this at home with your own stash, or if you get the kits, there is a specific, you know, you want to be conscientious of the orientation. So when I don't have any more of this paper for me to cut to recut, but when I was cutting for class, I boo-booed the orientation on a set of these. And so this is going to be a little different than what would be cut at class. I actually have it cut going this way so that you have a horizontal orientation. But for our purpose here tonight, we'll go ahead and do it this way. All right, so again, on this one, I'm going to do it on our Shaded Spruce Memories and More card kit or card base. And let's see, I think I'm going to do this one a little bit at more of an angle, just to kind of show you what you can do in case you cut too much of an angle, all right, or to rip it. But I'm going to go ahead and maybe rip it just a little more of an angle. So not too much more, but a little bit more. And again, you can choose which side that you want it. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but because I had it ripped at a little bit of an angle, see how you have this gap here? So again, this is what not to do. Don't rip it too much at an angle because you may get too much of a gap. But if that happens, I'm going to show you the fix on it. And that's why I did this on purpose here. All right, so on the, I'm going to go ahead and use, again, I just really like to do the larger one on the, to glue it down first. And we'll do that. And everybody, I will look over at the comments every now and then, but I don't have someone that's here to moderate with me. And so sometimes I get involved in the projects and then I look up too late on it. So let's see there. Oh, Janet, yep. I will definitely get you a kit to go. Perfect. So thank you. I'll touch base with you after the live. All right, so I'll go ahead and put the top one on. And like I said, I know this is going to give us a little bit of a gap. Now with the green on green, you might not even notice it, but you know, sometimes we notice it, right? And so I'll kind of show you the fix on that. All right, so on the green, I'm going to get our Shaded Spruce. And this one says like, "'Tis the season" on it. So that 'tis the season to be filled with peace and joy. I just thought like with the peace on it, I thought this was a peaceful scene. And so that's why I chose that, particular sentiment to do. Now for this, I have, as you may or may not know, I cannot put the labels on to save my life on the cling stamps. So I have to come up with tips and tricks on myself when I go to stamp these. The 'tis the season, when you go to stamp it on your decorative label image here in the basic white, center it on the top here, like, so don't center it down here at the bottom. Center the 'tis the season, that's going to be the straight edge up at the top. So I'm going to turn this just a little bit here, and you might see my head, but I'm going to center the top and stamp it. Just fits, but that's how you center it. I got a little smudgy there, but I'm not, normally I would re-stamp it. You can always, if that happens, you just flip it over and stamp it again. I'm going to go with the flow here tonight and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. And for this, with like, I think I was like sharing this with you before. It's like you can put these on whatever side, up and down, left or right, that you want. I'm going to make sure that I have it over here because I'm going to cover up that little space that we had. So I'll go ahead and get some liquid glue And this is going to be glued on the left side when I turn it over. Get that layered. Flip that over and we'll get some of our dimensionals on it. And we'll get those off. I hope that you stay tuned, because when there's an orientation on both sides of the paper, we're going to address that on our next card. Okay, so see, no one would even know that that was ripped and had that gap in it. Just use your embellishments to cover it up. Again, your kit to go, the orientation is going to be horizontal. And so let me just share with you what those might look like. So here's one where I did just a little section of the green trees and made it more of like what I might call the snowflakes on it. So here's another one. The white that you see here, that's just where it rips, and I kind of like that look on it. Here's the two where I just used either side of the designer paper. If you want a more solid look, you can so do that with your kits or with this. And then just having it where the trees are a little larger on the right or left. And if you wanted to, you could even cut your embellishment in half and then spread it on either side of it, which is what I did here. All right, so here would be then another 6 that you can make with, and this is all made with a half a pack of designer paper. All right, so here's the trees. The 'Tis the Season one. All right, so that's our third one already, our third set of 6. So that would be 18 of them that you would have. Now comes our, like the fourth and final set of 6. So this one has a little trick to it. I wanted to show you the ones first that just had like a non-orientation pattern paper on the back side of the image one. For this little guy, which I think he's my favorite, I just absolutely love this little reindeer and these trains that are like the, I guess it's like the cart or whatever. This little guy, this reindeer, he's just got his, you know, his face up, he's singing, he's just having a ball with whatever he's doing. So it's definitely 'tis the season to be jolly on this. And on this one though, when you turn it over, it also has a pattern on it that needs to be, that has an orientation. So when you get your kit, or if you make something like this at home that has the pattern on both sides, what we want to do is put the patterns back to back. Okay, so I've got our little, basically I have the ho 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 paper so that they're both back to back. And when I flip it over, it's the same orientation. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a twofer on this. So I just find where the character is at on one that I want to make sure that I keep it. And actually, when I do this, it'll be good on both of them. Okay, so I want to make sure to keep this little fun guy right here. And so I'm going to, you know, rip it. And now I have 2 halves. Again, I put them back to back, and this is very important. We'll see why. Okay, so if we just did the rip and flip on this, if I flip it, it doesn't say ho, ho, ho. It says oh, oh, oh on that. So this is why we need to make it back to back. And then what we're going to use is the front of one, take the opposite one, and when we flip that, whoops, let me get this right here. Yep, so when we flip it, now it says ho, 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 but they were cut, or they were ripped exactly the same. So we're going to use those 2, and when I flip this, now I have it going in the right orientation. Again, what you'll find if you do this one at a time, and you go to flip it, it'll be upside down. And if that happens, no big deal. Just grab another one that you have and just rip it in the same place. But just make sure you have your patterns going where you want it so that it looks right when we put it down. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. The bottom line is put the patterns back to back, and then so you've got two sheets of paper back to back, and then rip and flip. All right, let's bring this one in. So this one's going to be on the fun polka dot one. Just love the polka dot. And you'd take two at a time and do that, so you could like definitely super mass produce on that. I'm going to put my fun little reindeer that's having such a good time. And really, we just can't make 24 cards any faster. At least I can't think of it unless, I don't know what else we would do. We just would almost have to buy them, I guess. But, we're crafters. We have to make our Christmas cards, our holiday cards. And our ho, ho, ho. And on this one, again, it's 'tis the season to be jolly. Whoops, where is that one at? I think on this one, I used the wrong one. I should have used the made the season be filled with peace and joy. And then I grabbed the wrong one on that one. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm still going to use 'tis the season to be jolly. I'm going to stamp this off a couple of times so that get the green off of it, my cleaning, my baby wipes are out of reach. So I just stamped off until I had it. Good. Center it at the top and go from there. Okay. I do want to show you what our the other one looks like here, and I'll do that in just a moment. Okay, so we've got that. 'Tis the season to be jolly. And on this one, like, I don't want to cover up my little fun guy here. So I want the layering one to be off to the right. So I did want to show you how that you can, you don't always have to go off to the left like what I was showing. Go up and down, left or right. But I just want to make sure our fun little guy is there. And we'll go ahead and we'll get 3 dimensionals on it. And put it so where everything is where we'd like it. Okay, let me bring this one back in. And I'll kind of share with you what some of the other ones can look like. Now on this one, well, I'll show this one last. Okay, so, here it's toward more down in the center. Here's the ho, ho, ho on the left side and our fun little guy on the right. And see, again, I've got my sentiment so that it's, our little guy is seen. So if you want whatever image that you want, just make sure that your sentiment doesn't cover it up. Here's that one. Here's that. And then I forgot to, I ripped it. Then I'm like, oh shoot, I wanted you guys to see what it looks like without it ripped and flipped. So if you look real closely here, you can see where I kind of tried to connect it back. So, and you don't hardly even notice it. So, but that's what those would look like if you didn't do the technique. And then, you'd have your other 4 that you can do 2 to the left, 2 to the right. And you would need to have, it would be that mirrored image because remember we had to, we have the opposite one of what we just did over here on the first one. All right. So, oh my gosh. And then you would have these like super cute envelopes that would go with it, and it's just festive no matter how that you look at it. I just absolutely love this. I did want to kind of share with you that, this is just like a quick way of making these fun and festive cards. But of course, if you wanted to, you could add your own bling to it. Add ribbon or whatever to zhuzh it up just a little bit. But if you just wanted to super mass produce them, this would definitely be the way to go. on it. So that's what the 24 mega card class looks like right there. If you would get the kit to go, you would have enough materials left over that if you wanted to, you could make an additional 12 cards. So you'll have enough of our card bases made, as well as you would get 2 full sheets of the other designer paper that's not used at class. So the class does includes a half a pack of designer paper. I'll do the cutting. I'll be your prep work for you if you want to make it even quicker for you to sit down and do it. But these are the other 2 pieces that we are not using for class. And then one side of it does have that wording orientation again that says fa la la, and the other one has this cute red stripe on it. So you can get 6 of the card, the designer paper out of 1 sheet of the designer paper. So that's where you get 6 on this one and 6 on this one if you wanted to do more of these. And you'll have plenty of leftover cards and envelopes. And so I thought I just would let you see what those look like too. So we use the fa la la, and I love that because this designer paper actually reads fa la la on one of the sides. So, here's like those 6. Whoops. So here's what all of the fa la la looks like if you don't want to rip and flip it. And let's see here. Should be one more. Oops, that's the Santa train and this. So I'm missing one of those somewhere. It'll always pop itself up here really quick, but there's 6 more of those. And then we've got 6 of Santa in his train. And I think I wanted to show on this one, this is why you can mix and match the background of the designer paper if you want to. But there's Santa full on. And of course, Santa's jolly, so we needed to use 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly with our little Santas. Okay, so that would be an additional 12 that you could do with your kit if you wanted to. But you would have, the class would be all these 24 with the cards cut, prepped, and 48 embellishments, 24 for the background, and 24 for your stamping on that. All righty. Woo! So for class, just to kind of give everybody kind of the timeline of this, we were chatting. Let me go ahead and I'll turn back the view here for just a second. All right, we were chatting at class and everything, and everybody got done in about 2 hours. So when I sit down to do these, I think, I had everything punched and ready to go, and I had these assembled in about 45 minutes. So 24 Christmas cards in that amount of time is, awesome. So if you send out a lot of Christmas cards and you want to, do this might be a class idea for you, whether you get the kit to go, maybe you want to order it, those supplies yourself. But if you want me to do all of the prep work and make it easy, please consider getting the class. Okay, everybody, that was our class tonight. I hope this gave you some ideas on how you can mass produce some Christmas cards very quickly. And I'll go through the comments and see if there's anything else that I can help answer after we go here tonight. You guys have a great Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it again. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.